Who is Caedrel? Some fucking degenerate ex-league pro that failed, that is trying to push the boundaries or whatever the fuck boundaries he can find. My name's Caedrel. Mark Lamont is my real life name, and I'm just a streamer full time. I grew up in Spain, so my life until I was about 17 was speaking Spanish mostly. My childhood in one sentence would be, no, I'm not free that weekend, I'm playing WoW. Yeah, I remember the first memory I have as a child playing computer games is watching my brother play World of Warcraft, and I would be sent to bed by my mother, and I would sneak out of my room and watch my brother do raids. And I was watching him do Blackwing Lair, which is like a WoW raid from the level 60 days. And I remember really well, he got a drop of Judgment shoulder pads, and he put them on, and I could see him wearing it from a distance, and I thought, like, my brother is so cool. And then the next day I told him I loved video games, so he made me farm mine for him in RuneScape, and chop wood for him. So I became like his resource slave. Even though I thought it was really fun, I didn't realize that the game was more than just farming materials until like a year later.
So Horde or Alliance?
Alliance.
Okay.
I know like that everyone does Horde nowadays, but back in the days Alliance was cool, bro. Like that was being a night elf was the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
And how did you discover League of Legends? How did it appear in your life?
Well, I used to be a pro in Halo 3 when I was younger, so I was playing that a lot, and some of my friends were migrating to PC, and I was like, why are you going to PC? Like Xbox is where it's at. And then, yeah, they all said they were playing League one day, so I downloaded it on my laptop and played League on my laptop with them for a bit, and became like a Vayne one trick in like season 4, and didn't really take it too much serious. And then by like season 5, end of season 5, I hit Challenger, so I was kind of like, okay, maybe I'll drop Halo 3.
When did you decide, like, hey, pro play, or just going pro in League of Legends?
I'm not sure really. I took a couple of gambles, like risks. Like I kind of didn't have enough money for rent I moved to Edinburgh in Scotland, and I didn't have enough money for rent, so my mum had to keep sending me money to pay rent, and then eventually she had to pick me up from Edinburgh and drive me back down to England because I couldn't afford any more rent, because I was playing League so much that I got fired from my job because I wasn't showing up enough, and I kept saying I was sick. So yeah, then a couple months later, I finally got a contract to play League for like €1,000 a month or something, so I actually could sustain a bit. But yeah, that's when I first started going into the pro scene.
That's amazing.
Back in the days, they would pay you in like mouse pads, and I was like, bro,
yeah,
mouse pads aren't paying the bills.
So tell me something, do you remember your first big tournament, like the first big event for you?
Yeah, I went to an event in Madrid in 2016 or 2015 called Gamergy in Spain, and we won it, which was really fun. I think it was like 3,000 people, and then the year after I went back again and won it again. So I think I'm the undefeated Gamergy Superliga. If you go back far enough, the 100% win rate guy is me.
It's not bad.
It's not. Yeah, it was fun, but back in those days I was watching like the LCS, the EU LCS, so in comparison it was like a drop in the water, right? It was nothing compared to playing the LCS, so I always tried to get better, but it was hard, I think.
What sacrifices have you had to make to reach where you are?
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of all blurs together. I feel like maybe in 2022 I was feeling quite burnt out, but my way of coping with burnout is just to grind through the burnout. So yeah, I kind of, sometimes I complain that I have no free time, and then 2 weeks later I'll try a new project, which is really stupid. Like at the end of last year I finished, and I was like, yeah, I think making this team is going to be a bit too much. I don't know if I can like own it and coach it and keep up the streams. But I of course just did it anyway. Yeah, I think the biggest sacrifice is free time. Like I don't have weekends or I don't have days off, you know. I think there's always like something to sort out or deal with, but I don't mind it because I think I brought it on myself. So if someone brought it to me and said like you have to work weekends, then I would feel a lot more like no, you know, a bit more rebellious, but I bring it on myself, so I don't complain too much about it. Yeah, well, I would say less of a conquest and more of like an exploration. Like I don't know where the fuck I'm going. Like, bro, I just started streaming in like 2020, and when I was retired from pro, like I didn't expect to be where I am now. And the team only has been around for a couple months. I'm just trying to figure it out how to own a team. Like how do you make merch? Like I had tried to design this whole thing I'm trying to design, I'm trying to like coach, trying to figure out how to look after the boys and like make sure they've got all their things. I feel like a dad carrying all of their equipment and stuff. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out how to make it all work, so yeah.
Looking back, what's your most iconic play or moment?
Yeah. Well, I got a pentakill in the finals in the game regi. I got a pentakill, which was really cool. I had a few like cool NLC highlights where I got like nice team fights, but I don't think I've got like a super play, you know. So
let's keep the pentakill.
Yeah, let's keep the pentakill on from like 20 years ago.
So, what has been the hardest loss?
Oh, there's been too many. I don't know. I've had a lot of like heartbreak. I think. Like I had to retire from casting because my time management was too bad, and like I miss casting a bit. I had to retire from pro play because even though I didn't want to, I felt like I was forced to because I didn't want to just sit on a 9th place, 8th place team and grind for a couple of years and just like stop. And I want to be more realistic with myself, you know. I thought like, would I ever really win a title if I keep going? And as much as maybe that mindset is a bit strange to, I think if those thoughts creep in where you're like, I don't know if I can win the LCS anymore, then I think it's time to just back it up, you know. I've had a lot of like losses and like heartbreak, but I feel like a lot of them are just turning a new page, so it's fine.
Okay, looking at the beginning as a player, obviously you had a fire. Can you describe your fire type?
My fire just comes from other people. I don't know how to describe it, but like I would much rather give someone a present and see them happy than receive a present. You know, like I think the joy of being able to give some people something, and maybe it sounds like very, I don't know, people like say this a lot, I don't know if this is a thing, but like signing Baus and seeing him improve feels awesome. To see him like turn into a pro top laner in Velia, and seeing like Reckless and Nemesis help them so much is like really wholesome. Streaming and seeing people saying like they enjoy the streams and like they always tune in and it like makes their workday go faster. It's just like fun. I think when I was a pro player, my fire came from like I'm gonna shit on these kids, and then when that fire kind of was watered out when I realized I'm not shitting on anyone, then I think it was just like yeah, streaming. I think streaming is like a form of escapism, not only for the people who watch but for the streamer as well, right? Like so I think it's like a give and a take. So I think my fire is and my grind set just comes from making other people's days fun, and then makes my day fun, I guess. Yeah.
What's your biggest mental battle while being the father of those Ratones?
I don't really have a mental battle. I actually don't mind being there. Like I'm 28 now, you know, so I'm like, for esports years, I guess I suppose I'm getting a bit older, and some of the boys are like in their mid-20s, lower 20s, and you know, getting them food or making sure their stream setup works or being their tech support or then coaching them afterwards and stuff, and then like carrying their gear for them. I don't know, it's kind of fun. I've never been like the dad. I'm not much of like a father figure either, because I'm still just a streamer degenerate. But like I guess it's like making my life a bit more fun. So yeah, I don't have any mental blocks yet. Maybe in like 6 months they'll start pissing me off, but right now they're fine. Yeah.
Tell me something, because this is different. For every player I've been asking, what does it feel like winning? What does the victory at the end of the screen mean to you?
When they win.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, like when I was a pro player, I always wanted to win because I want to win. But now as a coach, I want to win because I want them to win, you know, like I want Baus and Velia and Reckless and Nemesis and Crowning to just win the league, go to the Masters, win that, like feel good, think they're improving. So for me, like winning now is more of a journey, like step by step, rather than like I feel like maybe when I was younger, when I win, it proves that I'm better than you know? And that feeling of putting someone down to lift yourself up in competition is like what it felt like it was all about. Now it just feels like it's about just seeing them progress and succeed in their lives, you know, and feel like I can just be a part of their, you know, story. It's quite fun. But it stresses me out because, you know, you have no control and you set them up with everything they need to know, and then some of the things go wrong and like, this is for you, man. Like this, you gotta put the effort in. This is not me winning this time, this is you. So yeah, it stresses me out sometimes and I freak out when they start running it down sometimes, but yeah, it's fine.
So you said you're 28 and you started really young. When you look back, what would be the biggest advice you would give yourself when you started?
Just don't overthink things, man. Like I feel like I worry about so much, and even to this day I worry. Like I'm always thinking like, what if this happens, then how do I think about this, and if something's gonna go wrong, I always worry about it. And then I think my dad always said worrying about it won't change anything, and he always said this to me because I've always been a big worrier. So I would just give my advice to my younger self, and my dad always says like, freaking out about something and worrying about something in a week from now, when you have no control over it, achieves nothing. So just ignore it, and when it happens, like, then you'll deal with it, you know.
How do you want to be remembered in esports?
I don't really care about it if I'm remembered or not. Like, I'll enjoy it, and then I will remember it. If people remember me, or like can relate and share stories from what I've achieved or what I've done, or things that they can relate to, that's awesome. But I don't want to go down in like a history book or anything. That doesn't really interest me or anything, you know.
How did Los Ratones start cooking? When did you start cooking this?
Well, I looked at League of Legends Twitch one day, and I was like, man, everyone just plays solo queue. Like, it's been 10 years, people just stream their solo games. Isn't that kind of boring? And I looked into the League rulebook, and it said like, you can't stream your competitive games, and I was like, okay. Then I came up with my first idea, which was the SLC, which was the Streamer League Championship. And I was like, I'm gonna get 10 big streamers, I'm gonna make a massive league, ex-pro player streamers combined, and we're gonna make like more content out of solo queue. There was way too many blockers, like internally, and discussing with Riot and stuff, that it couldn't happen. So I was like, okay, what else could I do? And I was talking to Nemesis and Baus, and I was like, would you guys be interested in competing if I could get it so you could stream your competition? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, in scrims and shit, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So then I spoke to Riot a bit. After a while, we were like, this is our idea, we really want to do this. I think this could change like the content aspect of League of Legends, because I think solo queue is just getting a bit too repetitive. And then they were on board, and then we got the rule change, and then we thought, okay, let's make everything public. And then Nemesis suggested Crowny, and I was like, okay, yeah, Crowny, he's a pretty damn good player. And then for support, we were looking all over the place, not sure, and I was just talking to Reckless one day, and he was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm down. And I was like, there's no way you're down, right, Reckless? Like, are you fucking crazy? He's like, yeah, I'm down. I was like, no, like, you're lying. And then I told the boys, I was like, Reckless is down. And then everyone came together, and so we just sent it, yeah. Yeah, I think Lost Fun is where I like a family. I think, I don't know. I don't like the idea of changing any of the players. I don't like the idea of like this 5-man changing. I just couldn't see it. Maybe one day it will, you know, like nothing lasts forever, you know, but for right now, this 5-man is like where it all started, you know. It's like the first gang. So the first gang is always like the most fun and memorable one, so we'll see.
You got Reckless coming in from T1. Okay. You got Nemesis back on Pro Play.
Yeah.
Crowny. Velja is now extremely happy. Baus is kind of PR trained as well. Nemesis is smiling on the interview, and every single time I get the opportunity to talk with one of the Ratones, they always say the same thing. That they're extremely happy to play for you, that you bring a smile to them, and you're changing the lives of every single rat in the team.
Oh.
How does that make you feel knowing that you've changed their lives?
I don't know, it's like really sweet, you know. I think it's like a group effort. Everyone's like changing each other's lives, I think. Like we're all in this together, you know. So yeah, I think the most important thing and the thing that makes us different is I think everyone's enjoying the day-to-day. You know, sometimes the day-to-day can just be like a fucking drag and it takes forever. And you know, sometimes you might hate your coworker or like dislike them, and you know, you're kind of forced to put on a smile, and there's like artificial relationships going on, but you have to do it because you kind of have to suck it up, or you don't like your boss, but you have to impress or whatever. I feel like this environment right now, there's just no hostility or dislike towards one another, so the days don't feel like they're a drag. So I think that's the most important thing, and that's probably why I enjoyed it.
We're gonna end with the same question we started, but I would like you to look at yourself as a different person, like someone that is next to you. Who is Caedrel? Who do you think is Caedrel?
Who is Caedrel? Some fucking degenerate ex-league pro that failed, that is trying to push the boundaries of whatever the fuck boundaries he can find. Yeah, I always thought if I'm proud of myself. I actually don't know. I think maybe when I stop like streaming and like leave the content world, then I'll probably decide if I was proud, you know. So like right now, there's nothing to be proud. Just keep going, you know.
But you can smile this.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it, so everything's going good. Maybe like in 5 to 10 years when everything like quiets down, I'll look back and be like, damn, that was fucking stupid. But maybe I'll be like, that was a good idea though. You know. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.